Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Dr. MCRHRD Institute of Telangana, I would like to extend a warm welcome to the respected dignitaries, senior officials from Military Engineering Services and MCRHRD Institute of Telangana, Group A officers from MES who joined virtually to the inauguration of the third foundation course for MES officers being conducted from 17 January to 23rd April 2022. Now I would like to invite Sri Harpreet Singh, IAS, Director General, Special Chief Secretary to Government, onto the dais to preside over the inaugural ceremony. And I would like to welcome today's Chief Guest, Major General Preetpal Singh, General Officer Commanding Bison Division, onto the dais. I would like to welcome today's Guest of Honor, Sri V. Suresh Kumar, IDSC, Chief Engineer, R&D, Secunderabad, onto the dais. I would like to welcome Sri Benhar Mahesh Tekka Garu, IAS, Additional Director General, MCRHRD Institute of Telangana, onto the dais. I would also like to welcome Srimati Sridevi Ailuri, Course Director, Director IT and EL, onto the dais. Now I request respected dignitaries on the dais to light the ceremonial lamp to formally commence the program. To welcome the dignitaries by presenting saplings. First, I would like to request Madam to present the sapling. Chief Guest, Major General Preetpal Singh. I request Madam to present a sapling to Guest of Honor, Sri V. Suresh Kumar Garu. I would like to acknowledge the presence of senior officials from MES, Sri M. Veershankar, IDSC, Sri KVS Rangarao, IDSC, Sri B. Srinivasarao, IDSC, Sri Akhilesh K. Pandey, IDSC. I would like to welcome Madam Amrita Garu to this inaugural ceremony and other officials also. So now I would like to request Sri Benhar Mahesh Tekka Garu, Additional Director General, to deliver welcome address.
The chief guest of this inaugural function of the foundation course for MES officer trainees, Major General P.P. Singh Garu, Guest of Honor, Sri V. Suresh Kumar Garu, our Honorable DG of MCRHRD IT, Sri Harpreet Singh Garu, course team, participants of the foundation course, and all our guests, a very warm welcome and good evening to all of you. It's always a sense of pride for us to be associated with the training of officers related to the defense services. This time we are running the third special FC, or I would rather say regular FC, for MES officer trainees, which will be running for a period of around 13 to 14 weeks. And this time we have 37 participants. I welcome all of them because, as we all see, during this trying times, testing times, COVID times, pandemic times, everything has changed. Earlier we thought of doing this inaugural session in a physical mode, but because of certain compulsions arising out of COVID pandemic, we have to go back to the online mode for this inaugural session. But nevertheless, it is heartening to note that total 37 officer trainees, which has a composition of 35 male officers and 2 lady officers, will be undergoing residential training program. This time, compared to last MES training, we have less number of lady officers, but nevertheless, it's always good to see that our lady officers are competing in all the fields, and they are here for undergoing this 14-week residential training program. If we see the breakup of 37 participants, it's quite heartening to note that all of them, they represent 11 states of our country. And it is more heartening to note that all are highly qualified. In fact, 33 officers, they have done their BTech, and 4 they have done their MTech. As this is the foundation course, and you will be given training on various inputs like public administration, law, economics, Indian polity and constitution, Indian history and culture, management and development. In fact, if we try to say it in a brief way, you will be trained in the legacy of our Indian history, culture, tradition, and the basics of administration. At this prestigious institute, Dr. MCRHRD, under the dynamic support of our DG, we are always committed to actively raise the quality of training for every civil servant, public servant, in order to equip them with the necessary inputs and skills to achieve excellence in public service. Our mission is to provide practical step-by-step assistance to optimize the administrative capabilities of the officers. It's a great challenge before us. So, I would say to all the officer trainees that the need of the time is to ensure COVID appropriate behavior, and we want all of you to be safe and help others to stay safe. We have lot of activities, classrooms, activities, indoor, outdoor activities, village visits, games, but we want all of you to follow 3 cardinal principles in this trying times. Number 1, strict discipline. Second, take your training seriously. And third, active participation. So, I wish all of you, all the officer trainees, that your coming 14 weeks will be fruitful and fulfilling. Once again, I reiterate my welcome to the chief guest and the guest of honor, for this momentous occasion. I welcome all of you and wish all success to all the trainees. Thank you.
Now I invite Srimati Sridevi Ailuri, Course Director, to present course briefing.
A warm welcome to the inaugural ceremony of third foundation course for Military Engineer Services Officers. We are privileged to have respected Director General Sri Harpreet Singh IAS, Additional Director General Sri Benhar Mahesh Dutt Ekka IAS, Major General PP Singh, General Officer Commanding Bison Division, and Sri V. Suresh Kumar, IDSC Chief Engineer R&D, with us in today's ceremony. At the outset, I sincerely thank our beloved Director General, Sri Harpreet Singh IAS, who bestowed confidence and trust in me to handle the course for the third time. I place it on record my gratitude to College of Military Engineering, Pune, for giving us the opportunity to conduct the foundation course for the officers. As you all know, Military Engineered Services is one of the oldest and largest defense infrastructure development agency in India. It is mainly employed for the Indian Armed Forces, including Indian Ordnance Factories, DRDO, and the Indian Coast Guard. Dr. MCRHRD IT, a premier training institute of Government of Telangana, is given the unique opportunity to train officers of MES since 2019. This year, Institute is going to train 37 young officers recruited through UPSC exam. Among 37 officers, we have 2 lady officer trainees. And these officers have an opportunity of undergoing foundation course with All India Services and Central Civil Services foundation course, which is happening during the same period. The objective of the foundation course is to orient officer trainees to the administrative, social, economic, political, and legal environment in the country. The course is designed in a manner so as to achieve the objectives outlined by arranging a combination of academic, outdoor, extracurricular, and co-curricular activities which help them lead and perform in future engagements. The academic inputs in the foundation course are divided into 8 modules. Module 1 is Political Concepts and Constitution of India. Module 2 is Law. Module 3 is Indian History and Culture. Module 4 is Public Administration. 5 is Management and Behavioral Sciences. 6 is Basic Economics. 7 is Information and Communication Technology. And then 8th module is we have languages. We offer languages which are Sanskrit, Urdu, English. They can choose one among them. Various co-curricular activities are planned which are reviewing a book, essay competitions, debates, and there are syndicate presentations as a part of the foundation course to provide insights to the officer trainees on various subjects. Descriptive assignments will be given to assess the in-depth perspective of officer trainees on themes of importance. Faculty is drawn from both internal and external organizations and very prestigious organizations. Leadership module for this group is being delivered by College of Defense Management. Coming to the non-academic inputs, attainment of physical fitness is an essential element of an officer's personality development. The course includes physical fitness in a day's schedule during part 1 of training with a view to ensure that it becomes the inseparable part of officer's daily routine. Mini marathon will be organized within the campus. Developing the officer trainees as a team person is one of the important aims of the outdoor activities. The trek is the high point of foundation course, both literally and metaphorically. It exposes the officer trainees to the natural grandeur and beauty of the hills. It provides one of the most exhilarating experiences. It is a significant learning experience in group dynamics and brings out leadership qualities. There would be a short trek in Police Academy, Hyderabad, prior to the long distance trek for the purpose of trek conditioning and also to familiarize the officer trainees with the surrounding environs. Moving to the other major outdoor activities is village visit. The village visit has the following objectives: assess the dynamics of the socio-economic political situations existing in the villages, understand the problems faced by the rural people, especially by the socially disadvantaged sections and their living conditions. The officer trainees have to visit villages of Telangana. The village visit is a major component of the foundation course, not only because it exposes the officer trainees to the realities of the rural India through a structured study, but also because it provides them the opportunity to stay in villages and interact intensively with the rural population to understand and appreciate their concerns and priorities. On return, the officer trainees will give presentations on the activities, findings, and recommendations. A range of indoor and outdoor activities are available to officer trainees that are being organized within the campus by various clubs and societies which is formed. Elections to the clubs and societies will be conducted in virtual mode. The elected representatives of the officer trainees under the overall guidance of the Director General's nominees would run the clubs and societies. The activities of the clubs and societies provide an excellent medium to the officer trainees for self-expression and self-development. The participation in the activities of the clubs and societies is evaluated at the end of the course as part of Director General's assessment. Senior officers of MES have been requested to mentor officer trainees so that the officer trainees can understand intricacies of service as well as attain overall development. The endeavor of the course is not merely to provide academic input. A day-long food cum recreation extravaganza, the officer trainees are encouraged to dish out authentic delicacies and exhibit their marketing skills, while the amounts so gained would be utilized for the social cause. Various cultural events like dramas, plays, Manak play competitions will also be organized. And Dr. MCRHRD IT as a team committed to foster professional, intellectual and emotional growth of officer trainees. I once again extend a warm welcome to all the officer trainees and hope it would be a wonderful experience for all of you. As I conclude my course briefing, duly ensuring that we deliver resourceful yet knowledge-rich training, I request every officer trainee to utilize every minute in the campus, have a memorable stay and happy learning. Thank you.
Now, I would like to request respected dignitaries to formally release Foundation Course Manual. It's a great honor to welcome our guest of honor, Sri V. Suresh Kumar Garu, IDSC, Chief Engineer, R&D, Secunderabad. Sir joined MES at Chennai in the year 1985. Major appointments held include Garrison Engineer, Mankur at Mumbai, Commander Works Engineer, Meerut, UP, and Sir worked as the Joint Director, Director Design at CE Kochi, Pathankot, Mumbai, MECRHRD, Secunderabad. Sir received many awards and commendations, which include FOCNC Western Command Commendation as GE Munkard, GOCNC Central Command Commendation as CWA Meerut, FOCNC Western Command Commendation as Director Design. Sir, I invite you to address the participants.
Respected Chief Guest of the evening, GOC Major General PP Singh, Director General of the Institute, Mr. Harpreet Singh IAS, the Additional Director General, Mr. Ekka, Srimadi Sridevi Ailuri Madam, the Director, Course Director, and my colleagues, ladies, and all the young officers who are attending this course. First of all, my apologies and my regret that I am unable to meet all of you in person here due to sudden surge of COVID issues in the area as well as among some of the trainees. Nevertheless, I am honored and happy to be here this evening with all of you. On the outset, I would like to congratulate all of you for being selected through the Engineering Services Examination, which as on today is a toughest recruitment process for selecting engineers to the central government services. All of you have passed from prestigious institutions all over India, spread over 11 or 12 states. Most of you are college toppers, class toppers, and at least the cream from the institutes from which you are coming. Then you are putting lot of hard work. Passing engineering service examination is not an easy joke. And now join military engineer services. With my experience of last 33 years, I would like to tell you that all of you are having a very bright future. It is an excellent place to work for engineers. In fact, among my friends who have studied with me, probably at this time, I am the only one person, or maybe among the 2 or 3 persons in my batch who are still doing an engineering job, and I am happy about it. You are all good engineers, as I told you, with a good technical background, a strong foundation, but that is not sufficient enough to be good and successful officers in a government service. It needs a little more than that. You have to be able administrators, good managers, and effective team leaders or team members during your career. And over and above that, throughout your service, what I have understood is that you have to keep a very positive approach and positivity in all your deeds and thoughts. You are all from different backgrounds, different colleges, different cultures. But I am sure that with this structured training of 14 months here, you will be gaining a lot. During the induction of the first course here in this institute, I was here as a director in Chief Engineer R&D Secunderabad, and I had the honor of getting associated with MCRHRD Institute. The then Director General called some of us to this institute, discussed with us in detail for a full day regarding what is our job requirement, what is our job environment, and they are kind enough to restructure the course considerably to include all the aspects of life which is required for our service. And I am telling you, I have seen those trainee officers in the first few weeks of the course as well as towards the end. And sir, I would like to tell you now that their change was tremendous, really tremendous. Magical change was there in their behavior, in their conduct, in their outlook towards the service as a whole, and we were really very happy about it. I am sure that all of you also will be going through a great time here. You will be learning a lot of things, you will be meeting a lot of good people, great teachers, well-experienced administrators during your period here. My request to all of you is that please approach this course with full positivity. Don't think that any of the lectures or interactions will be boring or uninteresting. It's not so. You will be benefiting out of every minute of your stay here in all respects. So be positive, be observing, and gain a lot from this 14 days stay here. We are here, the Chief Engineer R&D Secunderabad had been given the responsibility of officially looking after Adam, other than what the institute can provide. we have seen that in the earlier course also it was only for namesake, because the admin Adam provided by this institute was much better than what I could provide. But still, in case of any issues, official issues, we will be there to support you. I request you to keep proper decorum, proper discipline, and follow the rules put forth by the institute. In fact, the institute found that they are very liberal to the youngsters. So use the liberty given in a positive way, and wish you all the best during the course. Come out with great leaders, good engineers, and great administrators. The department needs you. Departments look towards you, towards your performance. I hope we will be making a great lot, and down the line, after 10-15 years, you will be making a great change for the defense services. Thank you.
Today's chief guest, Major General Preetpal Singh, General Officer Commanding Bison Division. It's my privilege to introduce sir. Major General Preetpal Singh is a graduate of the Delhi University, alumnus of the Indian Military Academy. Sir was commissioned in the Armored Corps in the year 1989. He is an alumni of the Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, and National Defence College, New Delhi. Sir's command assignments include the command of Armored Regiment in Jammu and Kashmir and an Armored Brigade in Strike Corps. His staff assignments include tenure as a brigade major of an Armored Brigade Operational Office in Ethiopia and Eritrea, General Staff Officer at Military Operations Directorate, Colonel General Staff Planning of a Command Headquarters, Chief Force Generation Officer at New York. Sir has been awarded with the General Officer Commanding in Chief Commendation Cord 3 times. Sir, it's my privilege to invite you to address the...
Respected Shri Harpreet Singh, IAS, DG and Special Chief Secretary to the Government of Telangana, our guest of honor for the evening, Shri V. Suresh Kumar, IDS, Chief Engineer, R&D, ADG Shri Benar Dutt Ekasa, and Mrs. Shri Devi, the Director of the course. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, it's honor for me to be here today to be addressing the foundation course of the MES officers. My compliments to each one of you. Rightly, the Chief Engineer outlined the kind of structured, a very pyramidical, tough competition you have come up to, and you got selected, you become officers in MES, and you have a job at hand. So, our compliments, and also, needless to say, that this is a premier institute where you've got an opportunity to train, so please make the best use of this facility which has been given to you by the Government of India. As far as significance and contribution of MES is concerned, well, it is difficult to put in words in next 2 minutes, but I can assure that having seen for last 3.5 decades, that your footprint today is there in each and every corner of the country, not only the country, even places abroad. And therefore, you are a warrior, and your contribution is highly respected in this thing. Napoleon Bonaparte at some time said that army marches on its stomach. So you are the persons who feed, you are the person who give the comfort for a soldier to go and fight, and therefore the significance is highly appreciable and is important. Personally, my own journey, I have normally put it, the loose, the lungers, the lines, the loopholes. And that's where, that means if we do not look after the soldier in these things, then as I said, then they will stop marching. And you have a major role to play on that part. 5:30 in the evening, 5:20 is no time to pass gyan to anyone, especially to intelligent officers like you. But a few thoughts I can share you as to where does the nation today is as far as overall landscape of the security is concerned. Security, national security today is not in the domains of borders, in the domains of only land, sea and air. Today it is permeated to each and every one in your mobile phones in your hands, the laptops on which you are sitting. Everyone today is going through some kind of a conflict, whether it is through space, cyber, information warfare. This is happening 24/7. And as you get into the business, you realize that you will become the custodian of national security. And therefore, it is very important to understand that how technology has changed the complete landscape of the security, and therefore you will, as I said, will become equal amount of stakeholders. Second piece, that the country today is going through a very faster pace of digital and social revolution. Probably our parents were happy finding a job, meeting the ends meet, getting a house, getting a car, getting a TV, getting a phone was a big thing. And most of us during our young days. But you are a generation which is fortunate, where these things are not an issue. And therefore, today, nation, after about 70 years, 75 years of independence, stands at a juncture where it is looking now for us to, having done a lot for us, what can we do for the nation? Our basic needs have been met. Today, we are lucky, especially who are now sitting here as the officers, listening to this particular conversation, that we stand at a juncture to always ask us a question, that what can we give back to the country now, give back to the nation? That will give you a lot of answers to your thing. And third important thing which you must understand, since you are joining a very job which requires a lot of sanctity, a lot of discipline, that you'll keep hearing a lot of things on the WhatsApp and a lot on the news media and other things. I think the strength of our nation still continues to be our diversity. And therefore, this unity in diversity, what we said about when we got independence, still continues to hold the thread. And therefore, we will become the flag bearers. The armed forces are an ideal face of the secularism, where you will continue to get to visit dharmsthals, where you will find the mandir and the masjid and the mosque and the church all in one building, in one campus. And therefore will give you ample opportunity to prove it to the nation that secularism and the diversity which we live is our strong points. My last thought to you as to what the system expects of you as officers. I think they would just want three things simple from you. Be honest and transparent, be efficient and effective, and importantly, be a bit compassionate. That means don't be sympathetic, be empathetic. That's all. That is what the system will expect from you. And to do that, to sharpen your skills, I will request you, if you catch hold of a simple book by Stephen Covey, that 7 Habits of Effective People. He tells you, and people like me who don't want to read the full book, in 7 lines he tells you, be proactive. That means don't wait for the problem to come you. Begin with end in mind. End state is most important. You should know what you are doing for. Put first things first. That means prioritize, think win-win. Most important, because there will always be difficult situations with your commanders in chain, people asking you most contradictory things to happen. Your, not the skill set, but your quality will lie in creating a win-win situation for both. Seek first to understand and then to be understood. This is more applicable when you become senior, because the most dangerous thing happens is when you stop listening to others. 6th is synergize. That means team effort. Captain scoring a century and the team losing has no meaning. So make the team win and sharpen the saw always. That means never ever reach a stage where you know all. If you know all, that means there are a lot of problems. So with this, very best wishes. Jai Hind, all the best.
Now I would like to request our respected Director General, Sri Harpreet Singh, IAS, Special Chief Secretary to Government, to deliver presidential address.
The chief guest of today's function, Major General P.P. Singh ji. Guest of honor, Shri Suresh Kumar ji, my colleague, Ben Hareka, Coast Director Shrimati Sridevi, ladies, officers from MES, and the officer trainees who have joined online. A big welcome to this foundation course. Certainly, we did not want to start the course this way. We had planned a lot of things for you, but somehow COVID has come in the campus. Before you were there, we had no COVID. But now 16 of you have tested positive, and we want to be careful. We don't want COVID to spoil this training program. So we need to cooperate, ensure that all of you become all right, and ensure that no one else comes from outside, neither you go out, and we maintain a bubble. This is the third COVID-affected program that I am conducting. Of course, your MES 1 was not affected by COVID. We had 3 special FCs, so all 3 were affected by COVID. In the first special FC, lockdown happened, 2020, in March. There was a great fear about COVID. So Prime Minister announced a lockdown, and that FC, we had a lot of difficulties because there was total lockdown. In the second FC, they came when the COVID wave was decreasing, and then in the month of March, we had a rapid increase and the second wave. We ended the FC with about 20-25 COVID infected officers. This time, we are starting with COVID infections. So each FC has been a different experience. But we have faced the challenge. We have conducted our training programs. And everyone, the faculty, the officer trainees and the staff here, they have all worked together. So I'm sure we will work here together and ensure a memorable training for all of you. A foundation course is always special. You know, Government of India is so huge. We don't even know who is where. It is only in the foundation course you get to meet people from different services, and also, of course, from different states. We also have the foundation course for All India Service Officers. There are people from 16 services there: Indian Foreign Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Forest Service, Civil Accounts, Audit and Accounts, Railway Traffic Service, IRPS, name it. There are a large number of services. Many of you do not know the number of services that the Government of India has. But now you will get an opportunity to meet all of them. We have programs where each person talks about his service. The idea is to meet. In the foundation course, you are all young. You are going to your departments. All of you are on probation. So the friendships and the knowledge you gain during this period is always, always helpful. You may meet your colleagues somewhere else. Like yesterday when we were discussing, one of our friends had become a chief secretary of Goa. He was the first officer from our batch to become a chief secretary. I am also special chief secretary rank, but not chief secretary occupying chief secretary position. So you will find your friends in different places, occupying different ranks. In the last FC, there was an officer, IPS officer. There was a tremendous issue between Bihar and I think Sushant Singh Rajput's case. The case was booked in Bihar, And then the FIR was transferred to CBI. And there was an officer, IPS officer, who was sent from Bihar to investigate in Mumbai, and he was quarantined. And that very officer had just 6 months back completed the foundation course here. We hear a lot of stories of the officers who pass, they have caught some gunda, their photographs come in the newspapers. So these news that you hear about will be different once you meet these people. There will be real people, your own friends, who would have been involved in some activity or the other. So this is the special nature of the foundation course. And we will ensure that all the elements of the foundation course are conducted in an exemplary manner, and all of you enjoy it. Of course, there are other aspects also. You will learn about you will go to the village. You will also learn about our administrative system, constitutional system, the political system. This is also very important. But in a training program, larger part you learn by meeting with each other, interacting with each other. So a training program like foundation course is necessary residential, because these interactions are very important in the learning. And our job as trainers will be to ensure that these interactions happen in structured and in unstructured manner. And you learn as much from each other as much as we engage speakers from outside and within and talk to you. After this, we are having a cultural program, and all of you will be joining us because we are conducting the cultural program outside. And I'm sure then all of you can meet them. But I'll request you, for the first 1 week or till 2 weeks, till the COVID infections come down, till now we have had 16 infections, we hope no new infections come. So once new infections don't arise and the ones who have infections become better, I think we can allow physical conduct of the classes and we will have a normal course. The predictions are encouraging. Maybe by February end, the COVID infections will come down, and hopefully the remaining part of the course will go in a smooth manner. I am glad Shri Devi is conducting this course for the third time. She is experienced. I am also happy that Suresh Kumar ji is associated with the program. Their inputs will be very, very valuable. And of course, if there are any inputs, anything in particular you would like us to organize a session on, we would be more than happy to do so. Major General ji has given a very important message to all of you, and I think you will realize it is, the people remember you for what you have done for them. So this is the beauty of this service. It gives you an opportunity to do something for others, to do something for the armed people. And the wars are becoming more, are being won more on the edge, technology edge. The technology has become the defining factor in victories. And you, being in the technology area, play a major role. So welcome here. I wish you all the best and hope to interact with you when the conditions improve. Welcome again. Thank you.
Now I would like to request the respected DG to present a memento to our chief guest. So I request respected ADG sir to present a memento to our guest of honor, Sri V. Suresh Kumar garu. DG sir was just mentioning about a unique session or a special session on 7 habits of successful people. So sir is planning a session on that also. So finally, it's my honor to offer my sincere thanks to our respected Director General for presiding over the inaugural ceremony. And I would like to thank today's Chief Guest, Major General Preetpal Singh garu for accepting our invitation to be here and delivering an inspiring message to all our audience. And today's guest of honor, Sri V. Suresh Kumar garu, for accepting our invitation to be here and motivating our devotees so that they complete the course with commitment and conviction. I would like to thank our respected ADG, Sri Mahesh Tekka garu, and for addressing devotees and enlightening them with his motivating words. I would like to thank Sri Devi Ailuru garu for being with us and other senior officials from MES who are here, who are joined here for the inauguration. So I thank everyone who made this inauguration successful. I would like to request you all to kindly rise for the national anthem. I would like to request devotees also to rise for the national anthem.
तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।